You know, every once in a while you meet people in your lives that change your lives, and that they, and this is one of those kind of men. Duncan Ojiambo loves the Lord in a great way, and I just wanted to take a little bit of time to introduce him to you. This is Maximilia, Duncan, Dion, Iliud, and Esther. And they're sweet, sweet people, and it's a wonderful family. Duncan's the kind of man, though, that this is his family. This is his complete family. However, he has 10 people living in his home, because in Africa, it's not uncommon. You take everyone that needs. He's that kind of a man. He's a highly educated man. You can see he's got a master's degree. I think he's got 5 different degrees, if I'm right, yeah, and many other things he's studied. He's a man that has taken education very seriously, but also he works with a lot of people. New Life Behavior, we're proud as anything to have him, but he's also a regional director for Gospel Chariot. He's on the board of directors of Good News Productions. He's on the board of directors of Harding Christian Academy. I mean, this is a busy man. He's also the preacher at the Jinja Church of Christ. So I don't know how he does it. But he does. And he does it with great joy. And I'm just so proud of this man. I have a few pictures of him. This is one of my favorite pictures. I was in Uganda when I took this picture. We were at the Jinja Church of Christ. We were the only ones there, and I said, "Get behind the pulpit." And there he goes. But it's not my favorite picture. Oh, wait. How'd that get in there, Duncan? I took him to the stockyards. This isn't one of my favorite pictures, but for this, I thought it would be a great picture. Now, we'll go to, there he is with some cowboys. Duncan had a good time in our stockyards in Fort Worth, and we had a good time showing him Fort Worth. But my true favorite picture of Duncan ever is this one. This man has the joy of the Lord. When someone comes to Christ, he just lights up. And I have hundreds of pictures of him. Here he is with a group of children that he just baptized. The man baptizes I don't think we can count them, the number of people. So I just admire him so very much. Before I took the job at New Life Behavior, I asked the trainers, I said, "Hey, help me out. I'm going to go to work with y'all in a month. Send me stories. I need to know stories. I don't know what you do. I need to know what you do. Please send me stories." And man, this is the book. As a matter of fact, I will have this book for the rest of my life. This is the book. These are stories. In 1 month, they sent me these stories. There's stories of everything you can imagine in there, but there's one story that captured my imagination. There's one story that when I heard it, I said, "Man, this is something I've got to get involved with." Why don't you tell us about Mr. Batuli, Duncan?
Thank you. I want to say a good evening to everyone. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Mike, for such a wonderful introduction. Mr. Batuli's story, as much as it changed his life, it changed my life. When I had just graduated from African Christian College, that's where I met New Life Behavior through Dr. Chamotsinga. I came back to Uganda, and this community called Budonga was a community that was called Baghdad. It was nicknamed Baghdad because of the witchcraft that was in the community, a lot of murder that was there. So someone invited me to the community to take NLBI seminar. I went to this community, no church. And the home where we put the seminar was Mr. Batuli's home. Mr. Batuli was a witch doctor. We did a 2-day seminar. The first day, Mr. Batuli came at night because there are no hotels, no guest houses. We just went with our tents. We camped there. So we're showing the Christ movie. Mr. Batuli comes in, and he's making a lot of noise. He's abusing us because he's drunk. He tells us, "Leave my home." The following day, he attended the seminar. And after one lesson, his son calls us that my dad wants to meet you. We went in a small group of 4 people and counseled him. Mr. Batuli cried. He had wounds all over, and I asked him, "Where are these wounds coming from?" It's like, I always find myself wounded in the morning, but because when I get drunk, I abuse people. So Mr. Batuli confessed to Christ. Him and other 26, the total of 27 people were baptized that day. And the church was planted in his home after ripping down his shrine, burnt everything, and the Lord used him to bring Christ in his community. Where that church building is, there was a shrine. And there were 7 other witch doctors. Only one is remaining. The rest are worshiping the Lord in that church. Yeah.
There are sometimes I hear stories and I wish I could have been there. I wish I could have been there to see the flames as they burned the altar. Oh, my goodness, that would have been awesome. This morning, Duncan and I were talking about Mr. Batuli and all the witch doctors that had come to faith in Baghdad, or in Badanga, as it's actually called. They just called it Baghdad because it was so brutal. And there's one left named Cheta? Kapata. We prayed for Kapata this morning because when Kapata goes down, the witch doctors are all gone. And so we were so pray for Kapata. If you think of it, pray for Kapata, because we believe with all of our heart and with much faith that he will come to Christ. As much as I love the story of Batuli, there's one ongoing story that I want you to know about, Lauren Choria. And it's another story that has just captured my imagination. So Duncan, tell them a little bit about Lauren Choria.
Lauren Choria is a community in a region that is on eastern part of Uganda, closer to Kenya. The region is called Karamoja. Lauren Choria, people that live there are called Karamojons. This community of people are hostile. They are nomadic pastoralists. They believe in cattle raiding. And in Uganda, when you reach there and talk about Karamoja, people will say, we shall not wait for Karamojons to develop. We cannot wait for Karamojons to develop. That saying was mentioned by one of our former presidents, Milton Obote, because he tried to transform them, to help them, but they were very hostile. They killed many people, and they still kill people up to today. There's a lady called Mama Rose. Mama Rose was moving in Ginger City, where I pastor a church, Ginger Church of Christ, and we have a notes board. So I put NLBI flyer on that notes board with my contact. When people pass around, they want to know more about what other ministries we have as a church in Ginger. So she got my contact from the notes board. She called me, said, Duncan, I've seen new life behavior. What do you do? I want you to come to my community. I said, where's your community? She said, Karamoja. I just said, okay, we shall talk, because I was afraid of going up there in Karamoja. She kept on coming to me, calling 4, 5 times. It took 2 years for me to make a decision. When I made a decision, I went with her in 2017. The first thing she showed me was a big, giant tree. That tree grew, branches came down, touched the ground, again grew, going up. They were worshiping that tree as their God. She said, the reason why I wanted you to come to my community was to come and bring the gospel. This is what my people worship. This is our God. When they want rain, they worship this tree. When they want fertility, they worship this tree. We did a seminar. It was a 2-day seminar. After that seminar, 17 people confessed Christ. We baptized them. And when we were leaving, a young man called Lotte Mark, he asked a question. You have taught us. You have baptized us. How are you leaving us? Should we continue worshiping what we've been worshiping? He said, no, we are going to plant a church. Today, right in front of a tree that they worshipped, sits that church building. And that church building has planted other 17 churches in different villages of Karamoja. Thank you. The people you see, young men you see standing there, those were the first evangelists, the first men that worked hard to see that the gospel infiltrates their communities. These men, when Mike came, he was courageous enough. He did not listen. He did not get scared. We went with Mike to Karamoja. I told him, you are the second American who has been courageous to come to Karamoja.
Who could be fearful with this man, right?
Yeah. So when we went, 3 of those young men walked 200 kilometers to be able to attend our training. When they were about to reach, like 5 kilometers to the place, we received a phone call that there are some people coming, but they are sick. Go and help them. I picked one of the preachers. We went and brought them in my car. They were swollen. Their legs were swollen. They told me a story. I asked them, where were you sleeping those 3 nights? So we would climb the tree, because when the raiders come, those cattle raiders, when they come at night, they don't always go up. They just walk. When they want to sleep, they sleep under the tree. So they were safe sleeping in the tree. In the following day, they continued the journey. That pushed us to take the church and another Bible school to their community. So we started a Bible school at Lochora and another Bible school in South Karamoja, where those young men are. Planting 17 churches causes a problem. A problem especially in a community that is illiterate. 95% of Karamojons are illiterate. This is information that you can find even online. It's there. They don't value education. They value cattle raiding, fighting, killing, to get cattle so that they can use them to buy wives, to buy their women. So when we started a Bible school, we would see the challenge that these preachers are going through to serve the Lord and to provide for their families. We thought about a vocational training school to equip them with a skill that can earn them a living in a sustainable manner. And we reached out to NLBI. We want to thank New Life Behavior for trusting us to equip all those preachers with the tools that we needed to begin the program. So they make tables, they make, yes, right there. Those are the basics that they have to learn. That shows how far illiterate they are. You need to help them to know this is a hammer, this is a plane, this is, as you see the video playing. When Sister Joe was speaking here, said some of those churches do not have seats. They don't have benches. And Linda said the same. They have to move with their chairs. The benches you see that these preachers have made, the preachers we have equipped to be leaders in the church and also carpenters, those benches were distributed to their village churches. And the desks you see, we started a nursery and primary school, a Christian school to change the mindset, to change what has been there. We believe that Christian education is the way to transform and eradicate poverty. When our sister Joe and Belinda visited, they saw the need, and they helped us to put up, Sister Belinda helped us to put up that building, and the building was built by our own preachers. The money that they were paid for labor, you cannot equate it to the money that other engineers would ask for. So that's how sustainable we feel we are moving. So those children have a classroom built by some of their parents. That is where we are going. Thank you so much.
What do you see the future holding for Lauren Choria?
The future is in sustainable education and transformation. We want to see that those children finish primary level, go to high school level, access even college level. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got to hear this.
That is our national anthem. We have 270 children. 3/4 of those children are orphans. Their fathers were killed when they went to raid cattle, so they stay with their mothers. They are in a class that was built by one of the God-sent lady. She's here with us, Sister Belinda. Thank you very much. That class is being used by our children to learn, to have education that they will use to transform their community. We believe it's them to transform their own people. They look beautiful because we have provided uniforms, but if you would see them in their clothes that they use at home, many of them are naked. And these two ladies who were able to visit, they can just testify on that. They don't have clothes. What was once God is now a classroom, a place where we sit to talk about discipleship, to talk about Christ. Even some of our carpentry classes happen under that tree. Thank you.
You know, when Duncan originally went to Lauren Choria, he was told by the people in Lauren Choria, if you try to build a church here, our God will kill you. You will die. And he went in faith. And it's, you got to be a little nervous because when someone tells you that, even if their God won't kill you, they might, right? So Duncan just went in faith and continued forward. We see continual growth. The need is great, but we are just trying hard to give them what they need. These little kids singing that national anthem just gives me chills because there was not any education in this place before Duncan took Jesus to them.